Welcome back to the factory series here at Aquila, where we go behind the scenes of showing you how these boats are built. It's been a real privilege to go through every element and show you all the different processes and why Aquilas are so special. Built here at the Sino Eagle factory in China. But now, this is my favorite bit. Welcome to the assembly line, where you get to see Aquilas as far as the eye can see. Alain, I love it in here because for me, this is where all those elements and processes that we've seen over the last few episodes, everything is now coming together. I can see a model pretty much of your whole lineup here, including your new sailing division.
Yeah, right behind us is the new 50 sail. So we got 3 assembly lines. We've got our smaller power cats, we've got our larger power cats, we've got our sail cats as well as some of our smaller power cats.
So should we now head up to the mezzanine and see the different stages of assembly?
Absolutely.
What I really like about this whole area is you get to see the boats in their earlier stages of assembly, but then it's quite a linear way there to the end where we're going to see a completely finished product ready to leave.
Yeah, so for instance, this is more of a structural side of it when we're putting our stringer and our bulkheads in. Now we're going to go take a look at the MEP, or mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, and then the finished product, how that comes together.
Alain, I think this is a 50 yacht, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, correct.
In this area, what sort of change as she starts to go through?
Yeah, well, we saw just previously, we saw the stringers going in, so you see the same grid system in here. Now you see the bulkheads that have been bonded in. And so this is the next phase that takes place. And they're also doing some water sealing.
The deck there, that's had all that strength, and the internal side of the stringers and the support that we've had, we can see at that point they've also added the cleats and the railings.
Yes.
So they can get to the underside correctly.
Correct.
But before that comes onto here, what are people looking at in terms of these spaces? So here's going to be basically our engine rooms and gen sets and anything that's like that.
Yeah.
And then we're moving up through, you're going to have your helm station up forward.
Primary cabin, guest cabins. Yeah, and there's some cool things that we do in terms of bonding the bulkheads in. So if you think about old woodworking where you have mortar and tenon or they're joisted together, that's actually how we put the bulkheads into the boat, which gives it additional strength and rigidity.
And then that's laminated as well into it,
correct.
isn't it?
So you're going to see your notches in here, and that's basically how it all fits together like a glove and makes it very strong.
I've noticed that when you and I have driven Aquila product in quite big seas, we've gone over to the Bahamas and the coops, there's very low vibration.
Yeah.
So when you're hitting these and punching into these bigger seas, you really feel like you're in a sturdy, small ship, really.
Yeah, catamarans, traditionally they have, especially on sail cats, you get a bit of twisting. So obviously power cats, when you're getting into higher speeds, you don't want that twisting, right? So you want to build a very strong, rigid boat, and that's why we put a lot of focus into our stringer system and our bulkhead system.
And do you find then that with the foil added, that gives you further rigidity? Because obviously you've got the lift, but you're basically adding more framework into that whole structure as well.
Yeah, you have a foil that comes from both hulls, connects essentially both hulls together. So you're getting some additional strength through there, but you also have a lot of additional forces and load areas that you have to take into consideration. So adding a foil onto a power catamaran is it's not an easy feat. We failed a lot at it, but we're very proud of where we are now. Leading the market by far. We're doing it a lot longer than anybody else.
And that's why also you've got such an extensive R&D department, because you're really pushing that envelope, but also all the other elements like the bulkheads and the internal lamination and all that structure, those strengthening items, it's not just a guesstimation, is it?
No, and they all come together. They have to come together and fit uniformly together to actually end up with a product that is strong and rigid and light.
Perfect. Okay, so let's go to the next stage. As we're walking down, I can see that a number of the hulls then have these stations. This is not for your grocery shopping, is it?
No, no. What we saw in the warehousing area is we barcode in, out supplies that come in through logistics, whether it's building 5, whether our upholstery and stainless shop woodworking. Everything that goes into the boat is also barcode scanned. And then in terms of our quality control and who's doing work on the boat is also managed through our MES system. But I'm going to introduce you to Tommy a little bit further down the line. He'll explain what the benefits of the full MES system are and how that ties into sale, and Nick Harvey, who manages our sales side, and how that all comes together in the finished product.
Fascinating. I don't see many builders going to this level of detail in their production. And I suppose these are all elements that are really required when you're building a business to this scale with a global dealer network.
So having all of this data and all of us having input, being able to monitor, report, get reports on it, it's critical for our team, a true global brand.
Yeah, there's no disjointedness in here at all, is there? So we now have a hull that I can see we've got fuel tanks in, we're running electrical lines, so this is now the start of real assembly, isn't it?
Yeah, fireproofing walls going in and sound batting. So yeah, as we transition down, next steps we'll start seeing the plumbing going, and then eventually the furniture and so forth. So let's take a walk down, we'll take a look at that.
You mentioned the fuel tanks. This is something that you actually build in-house, isn't it, in your fabrication shop? Do you find that having all those different elements, again, it just keeps layering up that whole quality? You're able to control that?
Yeah, quality directly impacts our clients, and so it's very good for us to be able to control that quality and be able to stand behind that product.
Now we have the next stage where we see a deck and a hull coming together.
Yeah, so the step just behind us, you've got your plumbing that's gone in, your electrical. Eventually they'll put the engines in, then they cap it, put the deck mold on. And in this process, what we're seeing here is now they're doing the furniture fit out inside, as well as the flybridge hardtop. They're starting to put the cap on that.
How long does it take to sort of get to this sort of stage?
Yeah, it depends on the size of the boat, but we're standing behind a yacht line. So from very start to finish, to very end, the boat going out the door, you're probably on average looking at about 3 months.
Your catamarans are known for their volume and their internal space. So to be able to produce a vessel of this size in 3 months out the door, that's showing that automotive style sort of production line.
Yeah, I mean, we incorporate a lot of automotive approach to what we do, but at the end of the day, it's important to remember these boats are all being handmade. So whether you're doing the lamination process or building the stainless steel components, everything that goes into these boats is handmade. So for some, in 3 months may sound like a lot of time to build a boat, but in reality, when you're hand building something, that's actually a very quick process.
There are a number of brands that have quite a lot of delays, sometimes because they're waiting on OEMs or to bring in part supply. You do work with those other third-party suppliers, but because you've got your fantastic warehouse of parts and inventory, I suppose you're able to keep that momentum going through the build.
Yeah, you have to, because sales don't stop.
So the 54, one of my favorite boats, this is now really taking shape, isn't it?
She sure is. So we're seeing a lot of the components now really getting installed, getting much closer to a finished product.
What's kind of the next part of this build?
At this point is the lighting that takes place, stereo systems, all of the finer details that go into a boat to really make it feel like home.
So we've seen the interior fit out, starting with all the woodworking and that sort of nearing completion. I guess we're going to start introducing soft furnishings and those elements too.
A lot of the nicer features that really bring a boat to life, you'll see. That's our patented tender crane system, which we're very proud of. So we now carry that down on the 54, 50, and 46, and 42 yacht. So
what makes it unique?
What we wanted to do was really clean up the aft deck of our power catamaran. So we incorporated into the deck of the flybridge. It essentially booms out or in, and then lowers and raises your tender.
So you can clean the whole transom look up. I guess too, with those sort of fresh ideas, it still comes from being real boaters and experiencing the vessels and going, you know, I think we can improve it even further, and that user experience for the customer.
Yeah, and there's nothing more frustrating when you're trying to raise your tender out of the water and put it on your tender platform, and you've got waves and an anchorage, and trying to submerge your tender platform, and you've got a wave that comes along before you have an opportunity to raise the tender. So this is a neat feature because you just hook up to the bridle, lift it out of the water. You don't have to worry about the waves at all.
We now are coming to pretty much the end of the production line. We're going to see a completed boat shortly, but on the right side, as we sort of finish at the end of the mezzanine here, we have your own test tank. I think I can see a coupe in the water.
Yeah, for our outboard boats, well, our sportier boats, smaller boats, the 28 up to the 47 Molokai, go through a rain system, essentially, that pours water down onto the boat so we can check for any leaks. So that's a very neat feature to have in this building. For our larger yachts, we actually have access to the water, so they are put in there into the river, and then they go through their QC and quality checks at that point.
There's a number of boat manufacturers that don't have this type of setup. They might have a test tank, but then to be immersing the whole boat with spray, that's quite a cool thing to have.
It is, yeah. And that way, when the end product does get to the client, they feel very confident in what they're receiving from Aquila.
So Alain, I can see some big screens here with lots of data. What's this about?
So this is our MES system, as we saw earlier on the assembly line, is the barcode scanning. So all of that data is coming back into a central system, but I am not an expert, so I'd like to introduce you to Tommy Qian.
Nice to meet you, Tommy.
Nice to meet you.
So Tommy, I can see the various percentages here, and I'm guessing these are your hull numbers.
Yes.
What does this relate to as it's going through the stages?
Actually, that's the completion percentage of each boat. And this way, our production manager can collect all the data from this system. So they will figure out what will be the next slots available and what boats can be completed in time and when and where. So which I can have this information shared with our sales team. They will work with all our dealer networks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each time you have a rigging person going through their stage,
Yeah.
they're scanning, updating this system, so you can have a real accurate timeline of the labor that's been put in and the work hours that have been done. So having this level of data for you, it helps you really manage the build process really effectively using real modern technologies with craftsmanship.
Yes.
This is a great sight, Alain, of so many Aquilas about to go off to their happy customers around the world.
Yeah, it never gets old. So this is really where the journey of getting our owners out there starts.
Yeah, so this boat, she's nearing completion, soon to leave the door. What's next in the journey?
From here, she goes on a freighter, shipped to all four corners of the world. So we have a huge global dealership base. But I'd like to introduce you to our good friend who both of us know, Nick Harvey.
Hey, Nick.
Good to see you.
This has been a great time for me to be able to look around and immerse myself in all things Aquila at this factory. What a sight, hey?
It's an amazing factory, and Alain just touched on it. We do have a global dealer network, and one of the messages that we're constantly pushing to the dealer network is how fully integrated our company is, on literally all four corners of the globe, manufacturing here, but obviously with base in America, base in Asia, base in Europe as well. So a really, truly global brand.
Yeah, and I think for people that are new to the brand that then see you building in outside of the US, this is no sort of disconnect, is it? It's a full, there's so many synergies, it's a fully integrated company, isn't it? And
yeah, it's very important for us to be able to, in full transparency, tell the dealers how far along the stage of assembly the different boats are. The last thing you want is realize the week before the boat's ready that actually, the production is late by 5 or 6 weeks. That throws everything off completely, from the shipping to the arrival of the boat and all the logistics on the other end. So having all these systems fully integrated give everyone the reassurance that we are going to deliver that dream on time and as per the specifications required.
Alain, you've seen the brand grow from its early beginnings to where it is now. You must be really proud of the global network that has been built, but the brand that's been created from Aquila.
It's been incredible to see Aquila from birth to where we are now, leading the charge in catamaran manufacturing. So going from nobody in 12, 13 years to now being front of the pack is just a testament to the team that we've built and the Shang family. And then Nick and the incredible job he's doing on the dealer network. That we have a foot on the pedal. We have owners that don't hold anything back. So it's great to be a part of this team.
There was a word that you mentioned to me when I first arrived, which was it's like a family. And I've really got that sense of whether it be C-suite leadership or whether it be a craftsman, laminator, an upholster, it is one combined family at Aquila, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's fundamental to the core of the Shang family is building that down throughout the team. So from a management perspective, we're very flat. Decisions get made very quickly. Nick, I know, certainly appreciates that on the sales side. So it's very simple, very easy to get answers from the upper management or the executive level, and then filter that down to our dealers, which really supports Nick on the sales side.
Nick, you must be really excited about the new sail division too. This is an area that I know you love for boating, so that must be quite exciting.
Definitely exciting for me. I grew up a sailor, and it gives us a lot of opportunities as well on the branding. Obviously, expanding our footprint. The global size of the sailing catamaran market is twice what the power cat market is. Not a lot of people know that, because you think about the powerboat market being large, and it is much larger than the global sailing market. But on the catamaran side, the sailing catamaran market is a lot bigger. So it's going to open up a lot of doors for us, talking with some of our existing dealers who have an interest in sailing, but also talking with some new dealers that might like to join the Aquila family that we keep referring to all the time.
We draw on our experience a lot, whether it's Sebastian here in the factory that's overseeing the production line for the sail catamaran, Nick bringing a vast experience in the marine sector, and then Lex leading the charge and keeping us going forward. It's an incredible team to be a part of and have that experience that all of us can draw from and learn from each other.
Both of you, thank you so much for your time here. It's been thrilling to really get amongst the brand and properly digest it and see the amazing skill set of the company.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tom.
As we leave the production line here at Sino Eagle in China, the home of Aquila, it's been great to look through the whole production process during this multi-part series to really see how Aquilas are made. We have gone through every element, whether it be from the main headquarter offices where the accounts and the business operation is run, right down to the assembly line, where all of these elements come together to eventually form the Aquilas that we know and love, when they then leave this building and shipped around the world to start their adventures. So for me, it's been a wonderful privilege to look around this site. I've visited many shipyards in my time, and it's hard to find one that is genuinely as clean and as meticulous as here at Sino Eagle. It's been a real joy to see their attention to detail, but also their care of their staff, and how loved and cherished not only their team are, but also their real passion for boating, from inception right up to every hull leaving here for their customers. And I hope you too have enjoyed this series also. Stay tuned for more.